Well, I'm not usually a sports guy, and I know people know that I'm not into the NFL or anything, but this has been all over the place. This whole, what is it, Deflategate? What is that, Deflategate? Who's being deflated? Michael Sam? He got, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Sam has been deflated. Now he's able to be tamed and appropriate in the locker room. No, well, Michael Sam is gone, right? All right. So let's see. Here's an article about that. Deflategate. And it has to do something with some balls or something. Balls. Of course, everything anything that has to do with a fucking male sport is always has to do with balls and balls and balls. And I guess in this situation, the balls were not that big. You know, they weren't big enough. We needed bigger balls, firmer balls. I know, huh? This life is so fucking fucked up. You know, it's a bitch when you don't have balls that are properly inflated and round and nice and rough. You know what I'm saying? Nice and firm. The New England Patriots are heading to another Super Bowl. And allegations are swirling that they may have bent the rules to get there. Oh, really? You're talking about the National Felons League here. I mean, look. I've been told lately that, hey, Jose, you have to be, don't be harsh. A lot of people like football, and it's just the way it is. But I think this whole Deflategate is just another great metaphor for the NFL and football. I mean, you have the whole situation with high school football players getting their heads all banged up and getting all these type of problems and seizures and mental health issues and getting Alzheimer's at age 20. It's just, yeah, and everything else. You have the wife beating and the child abusing players, and you have all the sense of typical corruption. Typical, I want to say corruption. I would say just typical tomfoolery, where you have boys, juveniles, trying to be men who fail at it miserably by grabbing their balls, literally, and trying to act like they fucking own the place. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny that a lot of these masculine guys would try to call gay people and try to call people who are not into sports, call us like smug and Hollywood types and all that bullshit, which is not really true. I'm not smug at all. I'm just saying that football is not a sport that I think is, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna cause a controversy. All right. Look. Here's the thing. How about this? I want to, heal our wounds here. Especially if you're a wife of a football player. I want to heal your wounds. I want to heal some wounds here. I will watch the Super Bowl. I'll watch it. And the only way that I'm going to keep watching it and kind of keep my eyes on it, keep my eyes on the screen, because I'm doing something else, I'm maybe on the computer, I may be doing work or something, is that as long as the butts of the players are nice and round and shining, I will keep watching. I don't know. I have no inkling as to who the players are, as to what this is. Super Bowl. I know it's going to be played here where I live, a few miles away from my house. And I'm going to stay indoors. I'm going to try to stay indoors. Traffic's going to be miserable that weekend. So I think that I'll just say this. I have nothing against football personally. It's not a personal. It's not like I tried it. And look, I had a coach in high school who also coached the football team, and he tried to get me to be the center. I don't know, because he knew I was a homo, And I don't know if it was a way to make fun of me or I don't know what it was. He's like, Soto, you will be a good center for the team, and we're looking for a center. I'm like, how do you know I'm a good center? First of all, I was scrawny. I would have been run over by these other players. So I wasn't inclined at all. I was not fascinated at all by the idea of me joining football. But I did play sports in high school. I did that. So, but I was a scrawny kid. Well, I was a scrawny little gay kid. Why would I be the center? Was that a joke? Maybe it was a joke. I don't know. Like, Soto, I know you took it up the ass. And it's a great way for you to get some cock. Yeah, but all the football players in my city, the quarterbacks, they're fucking ugly, dude. Oh, except for, well, no, the guy that I was with, he was the captain of the soccer team. It's a different sport. Anyway, so this whole deflate thing now, great metaphor of how the whole game in the NFL it's deflating. It's like it's just a ball in the sky is deflating. Right? Yeah, like that. And it's losing air. It's losing altitude. Football started out like in the 70s and the 80s, like, oh, this, great manly masculine thing. It's a great enterprise. And then they tried to expand, try to get the chicks involved. And Rush Limbaugh got all pissed off about that. He's like, they're trying to chickify the NFL and football. And then not only that, they went after women. Now they're going after kids. There's this TV show, this reality show on, what is it? Esquire, isn't it? On television. I forgot what it was called, but it's this reality show about kids playing football. High school, not high school kids, the pee-wee football, like small little kids banging their heads against the wall. Literally, they are. Yeah, they're banging their heads. And I would be like, hey, kid, come here. Let me smash your head with my hammer. See how it feels like. And now, after I do that, now you'll know how it is to play football. Would you smash a kid in the head with a sledgehammer? No. Then why do you want to make a kid play football? Right? And then recently they're trying to go after the gays, right? The NFL is like, oh, we now have a non-discrimination policy. They probably encouraged Michael Sam to come out. There's that. To kind of get the, let's get the gay. But that kind of wasn't a good thing. Because there are other gay football players who have not come out of the closet. So what does that signify? It's like, come on, this is just a really overhyped sport. You know what I'm saying? I guess this is the best way I can put it without offending people. It's funny because, how when Michael Sam came out of the closet, and there were other commentators, Chris Burstard, I always remember that name. This guy from ESPN, Chris Booster or Buster or Braster or whatever his name is, that guy smashed Michael Sam. He's like, oh, that guy, he's a sinner. He's a homosexual. His lifestyle is all bad and all that, criticizing him for being gay. And of course, gay people were like, hey, that's fucking offensive. And of course, all the football heads and fanaticos and Rush Limbaugh, everybody's like, hey, well, take it. You homosexuals, we are allowed to criticize you. Stop being so offended and insulted. But now they are all offended if you criticize the football. If you criticize football, I've seen this with men when they hear me talk about football like that. I've seen this with cousins of mine who like football. Mexican cousins. Like, they should not be watching football. They should be watching soccer. What's all this bullshit? Soccer, I can almost tolerate that shit. Especially when it's during the World Cup or during the Copa America or when there's like a fucking championship going on in Mexico. Oh, man, I have to tolerate it. But it's tolerable. I can tolerate it. Somehow for the football, it's like if, I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, for me, it is kind of queer, this whole football fanaticism. But what I would say is, Deflategate is not only a metaphor for what's happening to the NFL, it's deflating, it's going down to the gutter, but it goes to show you how petty this thing can get. You know, like I know there's a technicality as to like, wait a minute, if the football is deflated, then that means that, I mean, what does that mean even? I mean, I guess I have to kind of get in touch with the football thing, you know, try to get to know it and understand it. When I watch football, you know, still to this day, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know how to play it. I don't know what's going on. It's like, okay, so that guy, I'm doing is watching these tight asses. Okay, that's what I'm watching. The tight ends. Man, those tight ends, gotta watch out for those. But the thing is that football, Deflategate tells us so much about how this country has gone down the fucking drain. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with playing football. Fine, play it, knock yourself out, knock your head out, I guess, knock your brain into ramen noodles. I don't care. Fine, do it. But don't make it into such a huge thing that everybody has to be so concerned about deflated balls. This country has gone to the shit now. And this is what I hate about football. It's not just that I don't understand how it's played, or I don't really understand what's going on, or it's not just that the football is shaped or weird, and that the fans are all, you know, what they are and all that. And Rachel Maddow likes to watch football, and that's okay. Look, if you want to watch it because it's a passive thing that you do, fine. But it's gone to the point where now, how many balls were deflated? 11 balls? 11 balls were deflated. So that means one guy was missing a ball. Okay. 11 balls were deflated. You see? And because 11 balls are deflated, the lives of people have now paused within the space-time continuum. Okay? Our lives have been put on hold because somebody deflated balls. You get that? Not because there was some terrorist attack, not because the president died or any of that shit. Not because we were invaded by Alaska or something like that. But because fucking footballs were deflated. They were missing a little bit of air. No, they weren't just, you know, deflated like who would play with a football without any air in it? I'm just saying they were slightly deflated, and that caused a huge controversy. Right? Multiple reports say the NFL has found that the Patriots used underinflated footballs in their 45-7 rout of the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts. I didn't even know that Indianapolis had a fucking team. Okay. The Colts. You know, look, here are the football teams I know. The 49ers, the Cowboys, of course, the Rams, because they were from LA too, right? The Raiders, also from LA. The Dolphins, and the Bears, and the Ravens, because that's where that guy Brandon Ayabandejo was from. And what's the team? The Vikings. Yeah, Chris Kluwe played in that team. Look, I have nothing against football players, and like in general, like all of them are. You know, I'm just saying that this sport, just like when fucking what's his name, Billy Crystal was talking about how gay sex is all over his face. Like that's the way I feel about football. It's all over my face. It's everywhere. It's everywhere I walk out of this house. I see football. Everywhere. I do. You see? And it's shoved all over my face. All right? Keep your deflated balls off my face. I prefer hairy balls. But that's okay. Okay, so slightly softer footballs are generally believed to be easier to throw and catch. Okay. All right, so they were deflated. So now what do? Do we call off the game, or yeah, just call it off? Save everybody the hassle. Save me the hassle. Well, my nephew's getting ready. He's gonna do a football thing. He's gonna have not a party, but he's gonna have people over. They're gonna have chips and dip and all that. But chips and dip, gee, That's what you have when you watch the Super Bowl. Chips and dip. Wow. All right. The Boston Globe reported late Tuesday that the Patriots were informed in a letter from the NFL that the league's initial findings indicated the balls in the team's possession did not meet specifications, which require an inflation range of 121/2 to 131/2 pounds per square inch. Okay. The Colts became suspicious that a game ball didn't feel right after linebacker DeQuell Jackson intercepted a Tom Brady pass in the second quarter. Jackson gave the ball to a member of it. So what does this mean then? I mean, what? I know this is getting too technical. But it's all over the news. It's all over Twitter. It's all over. Like, people are sending me emails about it. Like, oh, okay. So what's this? I mean, they're saying there might be a penalty or a fine or something. Well, how about this? Let's just call up. You know what? If this is actually, now I'm getting serious here. If this is actual cheating, supposedly, right? And we now have a year in which we see football players beating up their wives and their kids. We see brain injuries through the roof. We see all types of tomfoolery, all types of fucking childish nonsense coming from the NFL. You know what? How about this? Now you're trying to cheat with deflated balls. Okay. No Super Bowl. This is the penalty. No Super Bowl. Everybody go home. That's it. Not this year. So everybody will go home and think about how you're going to perform and behave as professional people, because you claim to be, this is the pros, man. We're professional football players. This is the professional league. Professional sports, right? So behave like it is professional sports. And so that way we don't have to talk about this ever again. Okay? Just shut up. You're making me talk about it. Fuck. And this is a story that has nothing to do with Michael Sam or cock or anything like that. Or penises or butts or anything interesting about football. This is the only thing that I find interesting. Yeah. You see, they should have Michael Sam be the inspector of all the balls. That's what I say. He will make sure that those balls are inflated. If not, he will blow some air into them. There you go, Michael. We finally found a job for you in the NFL. Man, I'm bad. Ay. That's okay. I know. We homos can take a joke, right? Right. Anyway, there you go.